They say Aquarius is different. But what if that difference isn't a flaw? What if it's a divine disruption? You were never meant to blend in with the noise of this world. You were meant to retune it, to rewrite the frequency of what it means to be human. Where others follow rules, you question them. Where others chase belonging, you create new worlds for souls like yours. The truth is, your detachment is protection, your distance is discipline, and your rebellion, it's sacred. Because while the rest of the Zodiac dreams within the limits of now, Aquarius dreams for the century ahead. So if you've ever felt misunderstood, exiled, too strange, too intense, remember this: you are not behind your time, you are time arriving early. Because tonight, Aquarius, we're about to uncover the 15 reasons you were never meant to fit in, but to stand out from them all. From the moment Aquarius enters the world, something feels off, not broken, but brilliantly misaligned. While others move to the rhythm of familiarity, Aquarius hears a subtler future-born song. They don't quite fit in, and they're not meant to. This is the first mark of the water bear, the one who carries new truth into a world still addicted to old illusions. Every Aquarius is born under the sign of paradox. They crave connection, yet require solitude. They understand emotion deeply, but process it from a height others mistake for coldness. They're not detached, they're discerning. They can see the entire system, while everyone else argues over the pieces. Their calm isn't indifference, it's the stillness of a mind decades ahead of its time. This is why Aquarius often feels like they arrived too early, a messenger out of sync with their own era. They think in centuries, not seconds. They sense where humanity is heading, long before humanity itself does. And that awareness, that futuristic frequency, can be lonely. Imagine standing on a mountain and seeing the sunrise before anyone else. The beauty is breathtaking, but there's no one there yet to see it with you. That's where the misunderstanding begins. The world labels Aquarius aloof, odd, unreachable. But behind that distance is a heart that feels everything. They sense the weight of collective emotion, the ache of injustice, the silent suffering in systems built on conformity. Their rebellion doesn't rise from pride, it rises from compassion. They challenge the rules because they can see who those rules are breaking. And yet this awareness comes with a price. Being born to question, to disrupt, to innovate, means being misunderstood even by those they love. Aquarius learns early that truth is not always welcomed, but that doesn't stop them. It never has. Their mission was never to be comfortable. It was to be authentic. Inside, every Aquarius burns a quiet defiance. I will not betray myself to belong. This is the foundation of their strength, their shocking difference. They know that blending in means dimming down, and they refuse to shrink. Their distance is the sacred boundary that protects their originality. Their refusal to conform is an act of service to every soul still trapped by imitation. Yet beneath that strength lies a wound, the wound of the outsider. Aquarius carries it like a hidden scar, forged from years of not being understood. But every exile in myth is the beginning of transformation. The hero always starts on the outside of the village. The prophet always stands alone before the crowd understands their message. That's the hidden truth of Aquarius. What the world calls too different is actually too early. They are prototypes of the future, designed to challenge the present. And when the world finally catches up, it will realize Aquarius wasn't strange at all. They were simply right, ahead of time. The storm of misunderstanding is only the first initiation. Their difference, their solitude, their clarity, these are not punishments, they are preparations. Because soon, that same mind that was rejected for being too much will become the compass others look to when everything familiar collapses. The era of silence is ending. Aquarius is no longer here to explain themselves, they're here to embody what's next. The difference that once set them apart is about to set them free. But before freedom comes revelation, and before revelation, the long season of solitude. And that's where the story leads next. There comes a time in every Aquarius life when the noise fades, friends drift, lovers misunderstand, and even the stars seem to move in slow motion. It's not punishment, it's purification. This is the sacred season of solitude, where Aquarius is stripped of everything false, so only truth remains. In this silence, Aquarius begins to realize how loyalty has cost them pieces of themselves. They have given endlessly to friends, to causes, to dreams that demanded too much and returned too little. Because when they believe in someone, they believe completely. But the world often mistakes their loyalty for convenience, using their wisdom, draining their energy, and walking away when their depth becomes uncomfortable. Yet Aquarius doesn't chase. They observe, they detach, they learn. This is not coldness, it's recalibration. Their distance is how they recover from disappointment without becoming bitter. They know that solitude is not emptiness, it's alignment. In the quiet, they remember who they are when no one is watching. The hidden season is not kind, but it's holy. It teaches them the strength of standing alone. It refines their vision, like fire refines gold. They begin to see how the world structures fame, approval, hierarchy are illusions built on fear. Aquarius sees through them, and the moment they do, they stop kneeling to them. That's why Aquarius is loyal to humanity, not hierarchy. They cannot obey systems that silence truth or limit freedom. Their rebellion is not chaos, it's justice. They question everything: authority, religion, even destiny itself. They strip every belief down to its essence, asking the question only Aquarius dares to ask: does this serve the evolution of the soul or the comfort of the system? And because of this clarity, they often stand alone longer than most could bear. But that isolation is the birthplace of their power. They discover a new rhythm in the silence, one that does not depend on approval, applause, or understanding. It's the rhythm of cosmic independence. During this season, Aquarius becomes their own mirror. They confront their contradictions, the longing to belong, the fear of being trapped, the craving for love that doesn't demand conformity. They realize that they do not want connection at any cost. They want connection that honors truth. And until that truth is met, they will walk alone. What they don't yet see, what destiny is quietly preparing, is that this solitude is not a tomb. It's a womb. Something vast is forming within them, an idea, a vision, a new consciousness. While others mistake stillness for stagnation, Aquarius is actually downloading the architecture of the future. The quiet is not empty, it's sacred data. This is the second initiation of the water bearer, to endure the silence without losing the song, to let go of belonging so they can become the belonging, to learn that love, when true, doesn't ask them to shrink. It meets them in the full expanse of their difference. And when that lesson is complete, when the loneliness turns into illumination, something begins to stir in the heavens. The energy shifts. The air feels electric. Uranus whispers, "Now." Because every exile eventually becomes a messenger. Every silence becomes a signal. And every Aquarian storm begins with a single spark of awakening. That spark is rising now. And soon, the visionary within will awaken to their true cosmic calling. It begins quietly, like static in the air before a storm. Aquarius starts to feel it in their bones, a pulse, a current, a surge of knowing that something vast is moving. They may not have words for it yet, but the universe does. The same solitude that once felt empty now hums with energy, ideas, and unseen messages. This is the awakening, when Aquarius steps from silence into revelation. The ruler of Aquarius, Uranus, is not a gentle teacher. It cracks open illusions like thunder splitting stone. It doesn't ask permission to change, it demands it. And when Uranus moves through Aquarius's soul, everything false must fall away. Suddenly, what once made sense collapses. Old beliefs, old roles, even old versions of self are electrified into ash. Yet from that chaos comes clarity. It's the birth of the visionary. Here, Aquarius begins to see the patterns behind the world's confusion. They realize that innovation isn't about invention, it's about remembrance. They start connecting dots others can't even see. Where one person sees failure, Aquarius sees a system flaw ready to be redesigned. Where one sees a wall, Aquarius sees a door hidden in light. This is why they think in centuries, not seconds. Their mind, guided by Uranus's electricity and Saturn's discipline, balances the impossible equation between chaos and structure. One gives them rebellion, the other gives them strategy. One breaks, the other builds. Together they forge a being who can hold both revolution and responsibility. And this balance is rare. Most people crumble under change. Aquarius becomes it. Most fear uncertainty. Aquarius thrives in it. They were never meant to follow the map, they were born to draw it. In this stage of awakening, Aquarius feels both power and pain. Power because they finally see their purpose unfolding. Pain because awakening isolates them again, but now with awareness. They look at the world and see both its brilliance and its blindness. They know what could be, and they feel the weight of bringing it forth. That's the cosmic paradox of the water bearer. They are asked to carry light for a world still addicted to shadow. They must stay visionary in a time that worships repetition. It's exhausting but also divine, because every era of transformation begins with someone who dares to imagine something better. And Aquarius is that daring made flesh. Their gifts now begin to bloom. They speak ideas others feel but can't articulate. They merge technology with spirit, reason with empathy. They see humanity as one body, wounded, brilliant, evolving. And in that vision, they become the bridge between worlds, the scientific and the mystical, the logical and the divine. This is the moment Aquarius begins to magnetize the future toward them. Dreams become inventions. Intuitions turn into blueprints. They realize their imagination isn't fantasy, it's prophecy. And though destiny has been delayed, it has not been denied. Every detour was preparation. Every delay was alignment. Still, destiny doesn't arrive quietly. It sends signs. Synchronicities begin multiplying. People reappear, doors reopen, messages repeat. The universe begins whispering in perfect patterns, "You're ready." Aquarius, who once doubted their difference, now begins to understand it as design. The solitude, the silence, the rebellion, they were all rehearsals for revelation. And now revelation wants to manifest through them. But before it does, before the world fully shifts into their vision, something powerful will happen. A sequence of undeniable signs that destiny has finally arrived. And those signs cannot and will not be ignored. At first, it feels like coincidence, a phrase overheard that mirrors your thoughts, a stranger repeating your exact words, numbers aligning on clocks, dreams that play out in waking life. But Aquarius, you know better. These are not random. These are signals. The universe is confirming the revolution has begun, and you are its frequency. The first sign is synchronicity, the moment when inner truth and outer reality begin to mirror each other. What you think happens, what you imagine appears. Your mind and the cosmos start speaking the same language. It's no longer manifestation, it's resonance. You're tuning to your own timeline. The second sign is release. Relationships, habits, or commitments that once felt stable suddenly collapse. Don't mourn them, they're making space. Aquarius cannot rise while tethered to imitation. You are evolving too fast for structures built on fear. Every ending now is a form of protection. The third sign is recognition. People start seeing you differently, listening to the words they once dismissed, admiring the ideas they once mocked. What used to isolate you now becomes your magnetism. The energy that once repelled now attracts. The very thing that made you too different now makes you essential. The fourth sign is connection, the magnetism of kindred spirits. Aquarius begins attracting the unusual, the brilliant, the misunderstood. Inventors, healers, mystics, rebels, all orbit around your frequency because your presence tells them you are not alone. You become the silent center of a quiet revolution, the bridge where misfits finally meet. And the fifth sign, the most sacred, is expansive love. Not the possessive kind that cages you, but the liberating kind that mirrors your truth. Love that says, "Be free, and I'll meet you in your freedom. This is how Aquarius loves not to own, but to awaken. Their relationships are classrooms for evolution, where both souls grow beyond their limits. One by one, these signs dismantle the illusion that Aquarius was ever lost. Every shift, every departure, every magnetic encounter is a thread in a vast cosmic pattern. It's as if the universe has been rearranging itself to meet you where you've finally become yourself. You start to notice how your ideas echo in the world, the same themes appearing in art movements, technology, language. You are not copying the world is catching up to you. And with each reflection, a truth solidifies. You were never meant to follow trends. You are the trend before it has a name. But signs are not gentle. They demand response. With every confirmation, the universe asks you to act, to step forward, to speak, to risk being seen. Because the age of invisibility is ending. Aquarius, your silence no longer serves the collective. The world needs the way you think, the way you love, the way you create. And so the revolution doesn't happen to you. It happens through you. Your words shift energy. Your decisions ripple timelines. You're no longer waiting for permission, you are the permission. Still, revolutions are not without cost. For every system you help evolve, there will be one that resists you. For every awakening, a backlash. But Aquarius, you were built for paradox. You thrive in tension. Where others see chaos, you see choreography. You know that collapse is the sound of creation being born. So when the signs intensify, when people fall away, when the old dissolves, when the new feels uncertain, remember this is not the end, it's the reversal. The outsider is about to become the oracle. Because before destiny crowns you, it always tests your truth. And that test begins now in the great reversal of fate. It happens quietly, the moment the universe turns. Where Aquarius was once dismissed, they're now sought out. Where their difference was mocked, it's now revered. The outsider becomes the oracle. This is the karmic reversal, the long-awaited balancing of energy. What once hurt now heals. The silence that once suffocated them becomes their most powerful proof. Aquarius doesn't rise through noise or competition. They rise through alignment. Their truth finally fits the time. Suddenly, the same world that said, "You're too strange," now whispers, "You were right." Ideas once called unrealistic become blueprints. The detachment that was misread as coldness reveals itself as divine focus, the ability to see clearly while others were blinded by comfort. This is how Aquarius wins, not by revenge, but by revelation. Their calm becomes influence. Their patience becomes prophecy. They no longer need validation. Life itself validates them. The things they built in obscurity begin to shine under divine timing. What was misunderstood is now magnetic. They move differently now, quieter, stronger, certain. They don't chase recognition, it arrives. They don't demand power. They are power, the kind that liberates, not controls. Every experience that broke them becomes the architecture of wisdom. Every exile becomes a crown. Aquarius realizes they were never meant to fit the system, they were meant to design a better one. Their rise is graceful, not vengeful. They lead through truth, not ego. They teach others that rebellion is not destruction, but recreation, that freedom is love expressed at its highest frequency. Now the prophecy inverts. The misunderstood becomes the guide. The very energy that once separated them now draws people in. They become a lighthouse in a chaotic age, proof that being too early is the same as being right on time in the language of destiny. The reversal is complete. When Aquarius no longer explains themselves, they simply exist, and their existence shifts the room. Because real power doesn't announce itself, it emanates. And just beyond this turning point, something greater begins to rise, the final fulfillment of everything they were born to bring. The world is ready, the age of Aquarius is here, and now the prophecy fulfills itself. The world finally stands where Aquarius always stood, at the edge of the old and the dawn of the new. The difference that once isolated them becomes the key humanity now needs. The age of Aquarius is not a time, it's a consciousness, and they are its vessel. Aquarius was never meant to rule, but to reveal. They remind us that power is not control, but awareness. They carry the blueprint of a freer world where individuality is sacred and connection doesn't require conformity. In their presence, others begin to remember who they truly are, unbound, creative, infinite. This is the divine irony. Aquarius never sought to be followed, yet they lead. They never wanted to be worshipped, yet they inspire. Their vision for humanity isn't dominance, but awakening. They understand that progress doesn't come from destroying the past, but from liberating it. The age of Aquarius is about integration of science and spirit reason, and intuition technology and love. It's the merging of the mind's brilliance with the heart's wisdom. And Aquarius stands at that meeting point, the bridge between the visible and the invisible. The world begins to mirror their vibration. Movements for justice, innovation, sustainability, all carry their essence. Their words echo through generations. Their ideas shape revolutions quietly disguised as inventions, art, or change. The world catches up to their frequency, and for the first time, Aquarius feels something they've rarely known: belonging. But this belonging is not small or personal, it's cosmic. It's the moment the water bearer finally pours their light into the collective cup. They understand that what once made them feel alone was never a curse, it was divine preparation. Their difference was destiny's signature. Now they walk not ahead of others, but with them the guide who turns followers into visionaries. The world doesn't revolve around them, it evolves through them. They have become the living bridge between what humanity was and what it's becoming. In this fulfillment, Aquarius no longer fights for understanding. They embody it. The revolution they dreamed of isn't loud, it's luminous. It moves through art, thought, compassion, and courage. It moves through you. So if you've ever felt too strange, too distant, too different, remember this: you are not behind. You are the future arriving early. You are the sign the world has been waiting for. Type it in the comments. My difference is divine. Because the age of Aquarius isn't coming. It has already begun, and you are the proof.